Good morning to all. Are ready for the session? Today only on the exercises. Let us start with error location. Have you come with a handout? I told very clearly yesterday. So go to questions based on errors. Read the first one and tell me where the error is. The sentence has been divided into parts. So which part has an error you have to tell. However, after the acrimonious, underline the word acrimonious. Acrimonious means what? Bitter. It goes with a fight, argument, Trudeau-Modi meeting and the latest allegation by Mr. Trudeau. Diplomacy niceties are clearly at an end. Which part has an error? How many of you say fourth part? What is wrong with the fourth part? First you underline the word niceties. Niceties, below you write noun. Which part of speech is it? Noun. What does it mean? A polite social behavior. A polite social behavior that goes with diplomats, ambassadors, heads of countries. Before a noun you use a noun or an adjective. Underline the word diplomacy. Below that you write the word part of speech noun. We cannot use two nouns next to each other. So what is the adjective form of this word? So what is the correct word? Diplomatic niceties. Diplomatic is the adjective. Write the part of speech also. Bank exams, SSC also. Quite often they ask questions based on word forms. Right word, wrong form. That you have to know. Shall we go to the second one? I read question number 2. New Delhi must also consider how it wish to proceed on its ties with Canada. Answer my question, what is the subject here? Underline New Delhi. Singular or plural? Must also consider. What is the function of the helping verb must? Whenever you get a chance, you have to recollect. Must has two functions. One is a personal obligation. The second one to convey the idea something is compulsory. Must also consider how it wish. Underline the pronoun it. And here we have a clause, it wish to proceed. In this clause, what is the subject? Underline or round off it. And the clause is in which tense? Present tense, affirmative form. Then you have to recollect the rule. What is the rule? If the subject is third person singular, sentence is in present tense, affirmative, we should add s or es to the verb. Based on that, will you say it wish or it wishes? Add es. It wishes to proceed on its ties with Canada. Question number 3. Now read the third one. The first step at such a fraught moment. Fraught has two meanings. One meaning filled with, full of. Another meaning worried, anxious. Fraught moment, worried moment, has to be some cold reflection over the next steps. Underline has to. Again you have to recollect the helping verb. What is the helping verb here? Either have to or has to. Third person singular has to, other pronouns have to. It has what is the function? An important helping verb. It is also used to express an obligation. Obligation imposed by an external authority or a situation. Tomorrow you get the job, your first day at the workplace. Someone receives, does induction. That person may say, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to report to the manager. Have to. What does it convey? An obligation imposed by an external authority. Here, top management. Have you got the meaning? Second dimension, a situation. Imagine today is the last day to pay the electricity bill. What will I say? I have to pay the bill. Situation demands I have to pay the bill today. Now tell me, where is the error? The first step, whenever you cannot decide, in the exam also, you have to take each unit. Underline the first step, that is a subject, a right subject. It's a noun phrase, nothing wrong with that. Ordinal numbers, what are ordinal numbers? First, second, third. We have to use a definite article, the, it is there, no error. The first step, where? At such a fraught moment, underline one unit. At such a fraught moment, and nothing wrong with this phrase. Has to be, have to be, has to be. Here singular verb, has to be, nothing wrong. Has to be what? Some cold reflection, means not hasty, cold reflection. Here reflection means deep thinking over the next steps. Reflection over the next steps. That is also a phrase. That means what? Respect the fifth option. What is the fifth option? No error. No error whatsoever. Go to question number 4. For Mr. Trudeau, the priority must be to publicly prove his very seriously allegations or admit he is unable to. When you read, actually there are two ways. One, you have to read twice or thrice. That means you are not ready for the exam. The other, while reading itself, you stop at one place. You get disturbed. You know something is wrong here. So when you read this sentence, where should you stop? For Mr. Trudeau, no problem. The priority must be what? To publicly prove his, again his what? Very allegations. Which part of speech is it? Underline the word allegations, write noun. Before a noun you use an adverb or an adjective. What is the adjective form of this? Serious allegations. Again the question is about a right word, wrong form. Quite often they touch this. Now go to the para jumble. How many parts are there? You all have the handout with you. How many parts are there? Now read the parts and tell me the correct order. I will write here. Whenever you want to deal with para jumbles, you got to be very careful at the outset. But irrespective of the level of difficulty, if you follow certain tips, you can get 1 mark. You can get the first sentence. Based on that, the 1 mark is assured. How do you get the first sentence? You should take elimination approach. Any sentence with a pronoun cannot be the first one. With a contrasting word cannot be the first one. With a conjunction cannot be the first one, begins with. And with a definite article cannot be the first one, though exceptions are there. And without a subject, obviously you cannot start. Can say yes or no. Can A be the first one? No. Can B be the first one? Possibility is there. Hold B. Can C be the first one? There is no subject. Can D be the first one? No subject. Can E be the first one? It begins with a conjunction, cannot be the first one. And F, can it be the first one? Possibility is there. Now you have to decide between B and F. What is the first one? All of you make a note. B is the first one. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's startling allegation. Startling means what? Very surprising. What is that startling allegation? You have to look for the answer. What is the second one? See, when you deal with para jumbles, you have to keep asking questions. The first one talks about someone's allegation. Then obviously you have to ask the question, allegation about what? Then the answer becomes the second one. So what is the second one here? A is the second one. B, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's startling allegation, comma. What is that allegation? Tying the killing of Canadian Khalistani leader Hardeep Singh in June. Here you should underline the verb tying. Underline the verb tie. After that, whatever you see, not important. But if you are alert, tell me what is the preposition that goes with tie. You tie something to something. So what is the preposition here? To. Where do you find the to? B. So what is the third one? D is the third one. I read all the three, they form a group, one idea. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's startling allegation tying the killing of Canadian Khalistani leader Hardeep Singh in June to agents of the government of India marks a new low in the unraveling ties. So you got the first three. What are the first three? BAD. What is the fourth one? Again you have to start with Mr. Trudeau's accusation. Allegation, accusation. So F is the fourth one. Mr. Trudeau's accusation. He said, there is a hyphen, you have to consider the punctuation. He said evidence had been shared with India and also raised in a bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi last weekend. And here F and E, they form one pair. After that, what is the last one? Has set off, this allegation has set off a chain of events. So what is the correct order now? BAD, after that FD, FEC. Have you got the correct order? Fine. Let us go to the next exercise. It is to develop contextual awareness among you people. Those who have the handout, read and tell me what is the first word you have to select. Anyhow, after Canada, what? Here you have to, I don't recommend using grammar knowledge. Basically, when you go through the passage or paragraph, you should understand what it is about. That's what precisely I call contextual awareness. And here it talks about something positive or negative. It talks about Trudeau's accusation or allegation. Based on that, India's reaction or retaliation. And we have to look for a negative word. What is the negative word here? Rivals, in a way, negative word. Concerns, it shows some sort of anxiety or feeling. And sovereignty, a political term. Expelled. So what is the right word here? Expelled. After Canada expelled a senior Indian diplomat, India summoned the Canadian High Commissioner and expelled Canada's station chief for intelligence on Tuesday. The US and Australia, partners with Canada in the Five Eyes Intelligence Sharing Agreement, have expelled deep what? That is a combination, you have to know that. When you read, you understand deep concern, profound concern, deep concern. So what is the answer here? B is the answer. Deep concerns over the issue. The External Affairs Ministry has also underlined the helping verb has. Put the word also in brackets. Has, after that you need a verb, or sometimes you can use a noun or a pronoun, adjective. Noun or adjective, but here, do you see a verb which goes with the context and which is in past participle form? Which one is that? Accused. Answer is very good. Accused. The External Affairs Ministry has also accused the Canadian diplomats of anti-India activities, indicating that more diplomats may be under, generally we say may be under observation. Observation, a simple word, which is a better word, scrutiny, both mean the same. So what is the answer here? May be under scrutiny. Now what is the response of the Canadian government? While the Canadian government has spoken about the violation of the international rule of law and of Canadian what? Sovereignty. What is the answer here? C is the answer. What is the meaning of the word sovereignty? Being politically independent, not being controlled by any other external force. Canadian sovereignty, which could what? Other areas of confrontation. Here the right word is which could invoke. G is the answer. Invoke has many meanings. Actually it goes with religion. But in this context it means to bring into effect. Cause something to happen. Invoke what? Other areas of confrontation. Given the support Mr. Trudeau received from his political, two combinations you should be aware of. Political rivals, business rivals. So what is the right word here? A is the right word. Political rivals. And after that, what do you have? In Parliament, remarks critical of India by leaders, some leaders. It is also likely that the chill will, only one word you are left with. What is that word? Outlast. Outlast this government. E is the answer. How do you answer these closed tests? To answer or deal with closed tests, at the outset you got to be good at contextual awareness. You have to be good at lexical terms. Lexical terms means related words, related to the topic. You should be good at word combinations, deep concerns. That goes with your knowledge related to word combinations or collocations. And eventually any paragraph, either parajumble or closed test, you can handle based on contextual awareness. What is this about? A fair idea, you can get maximum mark. How do you get that fair idea? How do you develop contextual awareness? By reading. By reading what? The Hindu paper. Do we have more exercises or is it the last one? Please go to the questions. Here you have the questions and multiple choice you should answer. Read the first one. When was the Women's Reservation Bill first tabled in Parliament? Almost 3 decades ago. Very good. What is the 128 Constitution Amendment Bill and what does it propose? Answer is a C. A bill to reserve 1/3 of Lok Sabha seats for women. Why is there a delay in the implementation of the Women's Reservation Bill? Editorial talks about 2 dimensions. What are the 2 dimensions? 2 factors. One is delimitation, the other one census. Which option says that? Here, which option is that? B. Because it is tied to factors like delimitation and the census. What does the article suggest regarding women's representation in local bodies? In the context, local bodies means Panchayati Raj. What is the answer? Their representation is above 50% or below 50%? Above 50%. And which option says that? C is the answer. Do you find this exercise interesting and useful? We start this way, slowly you can raise your standards, but still this is pending. What is pending? Write about the editorial. I have been waiting for this. If you come with the editorial in your own sentences, in brief, I give the mic, I will ask you to read out, and that will be useful. Do you understand what I say? Has anyone written about the editorial in brief? Raise your hands. I don't think so. For this also I will do something. Let us see how it works. That's all for today. Shall I wind up the session?